What time zone are you guys in?
Switzerland, Central Europe, summertime. It's 11 o'clock p.m.
All right, same as us.
You're South African, right?
Yeah, the whole team is from South Africa.
All right. Also childhood friends?
Yes, also childhood friends.
Okay, it's kindergarten for Benny and me, so we.
Yeah, it's nursery school for us.
Oh, okay, you win.
Yeah. That's awesome that you guys are still friends for so long and now you're doing NFTs together.
Yeah, finally we found something. Like gaming was also like, bonding us somehow. But NFT was finally the space where we could bring also our skills together and work together.
Yes, that's amazing. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start recording, and as people come in, we'll tell them that the recording will be released, and they can just catch up from where they are.
Perfect.
Is that all right?
Thank you so much.
All right. Yes. Cool. Recording started. What's up, guys?
Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
I will start sharing if that's okay. Or is that
yes, please. Yeah, let's get down to it.
Awesome. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
So, what you can see is NFT Butler, and we are here today to talk about NFT Butler and what we have built in the last 9 months and how we can work together. I think both of our tools are the perfect match and the perfect wedding to basically have everything ready for the NFT space for trading and making money in this space.
Yes, indeed.
So NFT Butler is a desktop application which is installed on your client. This is due to security reason because NFT Butler is a bulk bidding software which can push up to 6,000 bits per hour per single IP address. And in order to do this fully automated, it requires the private key of your wallet address to send automatically those transactions and create bits, basically. And since we don't want to store your private keys in our backend and make sure this is very secure, we do store all your private data only encrypted on your client only. And it can never be retrieved from there. It's never going to be sent over the internet. It's really just on your local storage encrypted to make sure you can use NFT Butler and all its features. When you install an NFT Butler, you can either participate in our weekly trial for free to try it out and see if you can make some profits. We have had people who make more than an ETH just in the weekly trial with flipping NFTs. And once you have the required roles, either the lifetime or the Padawan member role in our Discord, you will get access to download the NFT Butler application. It's also signed for Microsoft and Apple, so it runs on Windows and macOS. And you will basically log in with your Discord account. NFT Butler is just going to access and check on which channels you are and if you have the required role in our Discord. And if you have, you will then land in your NFT Butler application. In order to set up NFT Butler for you to use, you will have to follow a few steps. You will have to add the Infura project ID, since we use Infura as an RPC server. NFT Butler does a lot of requests, so we would also propose to set up multiple accounts if you want to run it for about 40 to 60,000 Infura project IDs. This is maybe something we can work together in the future with Alpha Headquarter and incorporate your Alpha node to even speed up the bits. So, short description here, how you create an Infura account. It takes 5 minutes, it's free. Yes, and this is required to send Ethereum transactions. And second step is also you need to add a wallet. You can give it a name, you will add it with the private key, which will only be stored encrypted on your client. And then you will have your wallet overview, which is ready for bidding. Before starting with automated bids with NFT Butler, you should process at least one manual bid with that wallet on OpenSea, just to make sure wrapped Ethereum is approved and all the contracts are signed with OpenSea, so we can automate the process. In the beginning, NFT Butler was automatically approving wrapped Ethereum, but we have patched that out because sometimes OpenSea was doing silly stuff with their SDK and suddenly reapproving wrapped Ethereum, resulting in gas fees. So we have patched this out. You really need to do it manually before adding your wallet.
OpenSea seems to be our best friend.
Broke.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, continue.
Sure. So you will also need some wrapped Ethereum in your wallet, because wrapped Ethereum is the currency which is used for bidding. It's the same value as Ethereum. And there are some rules by OpenSea. You cannot bid more than 1,000 times your wrapped Ethereum funds in your wallet as active bids. So with this wallet, I could bid 1,000 times 3.2 wrapped Ethereum, or 10,000 times 0.32 wrapped Ethereum. And you cannot have more than 15,000 active bids on OpenSea. That's the two rules which are enforced by OpenSea. This is also nothing forbidden, so we are using only the official APIs and SDK of OpenSea. It's not a browser automation, it's really... so all our code and everything we do is completely in line with their terms and conditions. We are even in contact with OpenSea for several reasons. So this is really the proper way of bulk bidding. But it does also mean we are relying on the OpenSea APIs. The last few weeks they have some outages on their APIs, which had an impact on our bidding. But in general, this is, from our point of view, the proper way of doing bulk bidding.
Yes, our listing sniper also, we're using OpenSea APIs, so we experience those same outages and disruptions. But yeah, I can't avoid that, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. I still hope there is going to be another big marketplace out there who takes more, care about customers and their infrastructure than OpenSea, to be honest.
Yeah, us too. That would be the most amazing thing.
Yeah,
ever.
everybody agrees on that. OpenSea is terrible.
Exactly. Cool. So once you have everything set up, you're ready to go. Let's have a quick look how we create a task and bulk bidding and start bulk bidding with NFT Butler. So let me bring up my Discord quickly, because the NFT Butler lifetime license obviously grants access to the NFT Butler application, but also to our lifetime channels. And we have also coded a bunch of useful tools in Discord.
Nice.
One of them is the collection scanner. So when we started bulk bidding, it was hard and it took a long time to search new collections, to find some, good collections to do bids on and do some decent profits, also making sure their floor price is pretty stable. They have enough sales going on to make sure if you get an NFT, you'll get accepted and get it cheap, you can also sell it quickly. So what we have done is we have coded the collection scanner, which basically scans the 1,400 biggest collections on OpenSea every hour. And it will basically post a short summary for each collection, which is meeting our minimum criteria to be, deemed safe for bidding. It will show you the floor price, the royalties, also including OpenSea royalties, and the floor price minus the royalties. So this is your expected sales point at this point in time. Then it will scan 600 tokens at random and its current bids. And we try to find, usually there is like a one bid level across the whole collection, which more than half of the tokens have. So this is considered the bid level if most of the tokens have, this level of bids. And then we just add 0.01 ETH to the bid level. So this is going to be your overbid level, where you would outbid or most of the other bidders. And based on the overbid level and the floor minus royalties, it's basically calculating your expected profit span if one of your bids is accepted at this point.
That's very, very cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible, guys. Well done there, hey, whoever devved that.
Awesome. Yeah, we also show the 1-day average price, the 7-day average price. We also add a green banner to it if the 1-day average price is slightly lower than the 7-day average price. Because what we have seen from a psychological point of view, people are more likely to accept bids if the collection is slightly dropping in price, due to fear and doubt.
Yes, 100%. That makes sense, yeah.
Exactly. So actually in a bear market, you can do a lot of money with NFT Butler because when people are fearful, they are more likely to accept your bids, way below the floor price. So yeah, this works pretty well in a bear market.
Yeah, which is, we all know what we're in now.
Exactly. It does also show the creation date, and we do only show collections which are at least 30 days old, because in the beginning you have a lot of volatility in the first few days. We also do have a lot of people, bidding before and after reveal, just trying to catch some very cheap and then flipping them later, but it's just more risky. So here, this is more like a channel for the newbies, which did not bid and flip a lot yet. So this should be, safe calls to do bids. So that's why we filter those out. And we only show collections which have at least 10 sales in the last 24 hours and at least 70 sales in the last 7 days. Since, it's important to have some activity going on each collection to make sure you can also flip your NFT once your bid got accepted.
Nice.
Also, the main reason for NFT Butler, or how the most of us use it, is bidding and flipping. Do quick flips with small profits and a lot of them. But we also have a lot of users who are just tired of paying gas fees and they just bid on their favorite collection, maybe only 10% below the floor price or a little bit more, just to grab some more NFTs of their favorite collection without paying gas fees.
Nice.
That's also cool because when you do bids, if someone is accepting your bids, he will pay for gas, and once you sell the NFT, the buyer is going to pay for gas again. So in best case, you're never going to pay any gas fees while NFT flipping.
Yeah, that's very clever.
Cool. So usually when I want to create a new task, I just browse through here and I check for collections which are somewhere between 0.2 and 0.6 floor price, because that's with my funds in my wallets where I can push out tens of thousands of bits without hitting the funds limit. Other people also go for higher collections, which usually have higher profit spans, but requires more funds in your wallet to, push thousands of bits. For now, let's go with this one. Let me bring it up here. So usually before starting a task, I also do a quick check on the activity tab of the collection. So this is a graph I really like to see. So when you see a big spike and then slowly dropping from there, this means there might be a lot of fear and doubt, and it's more likely to get your bids accepted. What can be dangerous is if you have a big spike a few days ago. So if they bought the floor, or whale bought hundreds of NFTs, then the floor price suddenly raised and is most probably going to drop in the next few days. So if such spike happens, I usually wait a few days or a week to make sure the floor price is stable again before actually starting a bidding task.
Nice.
And I also scroll through the collection to see where bids were accepted recently, just to get an idea on, what might be a good bid level, to get some bids accepted. So this collection looks really great. We can see every few days bids are accepted for 0.2 ETH. 0.29, so the floor price has rise a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Collection scanner is currently telling to bid with 0.21, so a little bit above where we have seen bids accepted. So let's do this. For now, there is a little bit of copy pasting with NFT Butler. We are going to automate this all in the product. So we are a team of 6 people, 3 developers, a security expert, and a designer, and we are working on bringing new features to life every week.
Very, very cool.
We are actually already, bidding and using NFT Butler since February. We have officially released it, and since then we already have implemented a lot of features. One of them I'm just going to show you. So here we have a collection of 8,800 tokens. For now, we still need to put the token IDs on which token IDs the task should do bidding on. We are also going to automate this and also incorporate trade filters and all that. We have intermediate solutions for this for now in Discord. I will show this afterwards. But, we will bring everything into the fancy UI. It just takes time to design the fancy UI and make everything popping up and automate.
Yeah. And just to touch on that, so UI at the moment is very clean, very pretty. So I really like that.
Yeah, we want to keep it clean. So that's what takes a lot of work.
and dark mode enabled.
So I'm also enabling one of our features which were incorporated like in March or April. It's called Outbidding feature, which lets you define a minimum price for bidding. So we can say I want to bid 0.2 ETH and a maximum of 0.22 ETH. And I want to do outbidding steps of 1%. So if someone else is already bidding 0.2 ETH, I will outbid him by 1% to a maximum of this price. And this is always the maximum. So even if this 1% would exceed this, we are never going to bid higher than the maximum price. Then we can also define the validity of the bid. So how long are these bids going to stay active? Depends a bit on your risk level and how fast you expect the floor to change, and also how well you know the collection. I usually go with something between 4 and 18 hours. So for collections I'm bidding on since months, I go with very high bids because I know how they are moving. For this one, I'm now going with 8 hours because I haven't, created a bidding task for this collection. And you're going to choose a wallet which will basically send all those bids. So let's create a task. We have the task created now. We can now also check the stats, which will just show you what is the current floor price, what are the royalties, what is your expected profit span for the minimum and the maximum bid price. So this is always good to double check just to make sure you're in profit.
If I can just ask you a question.
Sure.
If, say, for instance, you put out all these bids and the floor starts dropping, say some FUD starts and the floor starts dropping dramatically, do you have a safety feature that maybe one can enable to notice, like, okay, if the floor is dropping a lot, to cancel out all the bids? And how long does it take? Okay.
But it's on our roadmap. We have a lot of safety features planned. One is to automatically unwrap if the floor goes below a certain limit.
Yes,
also, unwrapping your wrapped Ethereum if you can configure I want to get maximum 3 tokens with this task. And if this is reached, please automatically unwrap my wrapped Ethereum to make sure all our bits cannot be accepted anymore. So basically the safety feature and the automated listing feature is together with looping tasks are the 3 features which are coming next. First, we do looping tasks, so a task can run forever and will just refresh your bits and you don't have to play it again. And then we will basically incorporate the safety features and the automated listing. So once a bid gets accepted, you can configure the task to automatically sell the NFT at the floor price or slightly higher, or based on rarity.
Maybe you should add that in looping task, it takes care of like a dozen of cases. Like, It will just try to bid as much as it can. And if your funds are all allocated, it will just stop. And as soon as your funds then are freed up because the bids expire, it will continue. So it's for the really lazy trader, right?
Exactly. It's full trading machine, or it will be for sure.
Yes, that's awesome.
So let's play this task. It will create all the jobs for all the 8,888 tokens and immediately start bidding. It's all stored locally in a local Redis database, which comes with NFT Butler. And you have full transparency. You can check jobs in the queue. You will see all your jobs being processed. So you can see what is the current bid level, what is your offer price on each token. And you can basically see all bids being processed. You can also watch them in OpenSea when you're logged in with your wallet. And you will also see, maybe some bids will fail because the token is disabled for trading on OpenSea, but that's usually less than 1%. So out of 9,000, usually, 8,900 or 8,950 are going through completed.
Right.
You can run a total of 4 tasks at a maximum, and each task is going to process 1,300 to 1,500 bits per hour. So per NFT Butler lifetime license, you can basically process up to 6,000 bits per hour. And this limitation is basically set by OpenSea, because if you process more than the 6,000 per hour, your IP address is going to be rate limited and blocked.
Yeah, we also get that.
Exactly. So this is really, we have tweaked the settings for months. So we start our proof of concept like in December, and a lot of the work was also, reverse engineering their APIs and how they block and what is the maximum throughput we can do. And this is really what we came up with, and I think it's the best you can reach per IP address.
Very clever. I like it.
We do not support proxies because it's forbidden by the terms and conditions of OpenSea. However, you can run multiple butlers on multiple VPS servers with different IP addresses or NordVPN. It's really just the restriction you have per public IP address. And we want to play that along the rules with OpenSea.
Yeah, 100%. And there's no issue running Butler across that, right? I mean, you can open 5 instances of Butler with your one account or with the one role.
No, you need to have one NFT lifetime license for each Butler, and it can only run once per operating system. So you would really have to use multiple virtual servers. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Awesome. Then let's also show what else we have in our Discord.
Don't forget the stats, Betty. I'm not sure if you have shown them.
Sorry, Dave?
Your wallet stats?
Oh, yes, you're completely right. That's our most recent feature, right? And you cannot see that anywhere in OpenSea. So since you have a bunch of limits from OpenSea, like not exceeding 1,000 times your wrapped Ethereum in active bits, we have integrated wallet stats, which basically keeps track of how many active bits you have per collection and how much of your funds are allocated in active bits. And you can also run a prediction, which basically incorporates all running and queued tasks to show if you're staying below that 1,000 time limit or not, and when you're going to exceed it. So you can do that for all your wallets. So here I'm going to exceed the limit at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Those tasks will stop because they are rejected by OpenSea until funds are going to be freed up again, like here.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah, in the beginning we were struggling to keep the oversight, how many bits are active and where, because on OpenSea you cannot get a summary of your active bits anywhere, so that's why we have built this tool into.
Yeah, clever.
Yeah, also something I forgot to mention, you can run 4 active tasks, but you can queue up as many tasks as you want. And each task will just be picked up once another task finishes here.
Okay.
This will change with looping tasks. So looping tasks are really going to stay here forever, and just refresh your bits on this task. And if they hit something like your wallet funds, we should have it here. Yeah, this is a typical error, like wallet funds are reached. Then they will just pause themselves and retry a little later when bids are starting to expire to make sure it keeps bidding. Basically, what you want to achieve is riding that red line perfectly. So looping tasks are going to ensure that.
Very cool.
Awesome. Now let's also have a short overview what we have built in Discord, because a lot of value comes from Discord. It's a little bit hacky right now, so we have this collection scanner just to browse through and see collections you want to do bids on. But we also have the community bot, which offers a whole bunch of useful commands to incorporate more features into NFT Butler. So what you can do is you can run a bid scan on any collection or a smart contract address, which basically will give you the last 10 bits accepted of that collection. So this just gives you an idea at which level recently bids were accepted without having to scroll through the activity tab until you find some bits. Then we have a show command, which will basically just show you the collection and all its traits and values. There is a trait filter. We use raritysniffer.com APIs here. So you can request, I want to have all token IDs for Crypto Cannabis Club with hat equals BTC hat. And it will basically give you, in a few seconds, a list of all the token IDs, so you can copy paste that into NFT Butler and create a task for that trait.
Okay.
So this is like a workaround solution until we have the full UI implementation. We do the same with no traits. We can do the same with rarity scores. So give me the 200 rarest tokens or least rare tokens. You can also request ranges and enable or this. Well, trade count is always on, but you can also disable it here. And recently we have also implemented token scans and collection scans. So if you run this, private channel will be opened between you and the bot. Our bot does never use direct messages. We always create private channels between you and the bot where responses and data is posted. And this will scan the whole collection, each token ID, and give you a whole lot of information about all the tokens. Have they been sold? Are they currently listed? At what price? And you can then filter that Excel, to create your individual bidding strategies and create tasks based on those token IDs.
Okay.
So we have just to very quickly touch it, just to show it. This is a collection scan. It runs about 5 minutes for 10,000 tokens. And it will basically show you all the token IDs. How many does the owner have? Is it currently listed? At what price? When is it going to end? Has it ever been sold? To what price? What is the floor price? Is it minted? What is the best trade? What is the best trade floor price? How many of this trade was sold in the last 30 days? What was the average price? Here. What is the average price for those 8? What is the best trade floor price? And it will also show you if the current owner is in profit or a loss compared to the floor price and also the best trade price. So with all that information, you can, I only want to bid on listed tokens and then just copy paste the token IDs to NFT Butler and you can create a task on listed NFTs, for example.
All right, so your Discord bots will spit this out to the user requesting it.
Exactly. So you basically just every lifetime member can run this scan, and then you will get a private channel between you and the bot. There is a queuing implemented. It will run for 5 minutes and then spit out all the both Excel files basically. The second Excel file is just a trade scan. So it will spit out each trade type and value. How many tokens are there? What is the floor price? Again, how many of those were sold with this trade value pair in the last 30 days? What was the average price? And also the list of this trade. So here you can also copy paste, for each trade value pair, the token IDs.
All right, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit hacky, but we want to provide as much data so you can, really play around with NFT Butler and try different strategies on different collections.
It helps you make a smarter decision at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Now, Benny,
yeah, guys, rather have more information and refine it later. But that's insane. You can really get down to the details of exactly what you want. That's incredible, guys.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget at this point, Benny,
but there's something else there.
The successes. Yes.
Yes, we need to show shortly the success stories, right? A little bit of advertisement. So I've had weeks, where I did several $1,000 of ETH per week, but it changes every week. It's really a numbers game, right? So it depends on how many flips you get out there. Sometimes you're very lucky and you get 3 or 4 a day, and sometimes nothing for several days.
Yeah.
I usually go for smaller flips like these, so a few $100 profit for each flip, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
We have also had people which play with way more funds, but also way higher profit ranges. So this was K, like 1 week, but a very lucky week. I think that's the best week we have seen so far from one of our customers.
What collection is this? Do you know?
We believe it's
I don't know.
Like,
okay.
Maybe he went in a very risky moment there where everything was dropping, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually always post what's it, but usually people want to make sure they can use their favorite collection for bidding. So most people.
Yes. No, that's good. The sensitive information is sensitive.
Yeah. So here, a bunch of successful flips. Yeah, there is a lot of these.
Well, there's the running gag with our community. Wusel Benny, he has soon flipped all the Atom Bomb squads. So I think you have flipped about, 50 of them so far. And
really?
we are just waiting until he has flipped the whole collection through.
So the goal is to flip them all. Everyone is making fun of me because I'm flipping these bombs since like 2 months, and I get bids accepted every week. So the goal is it's a collection of 25,000, so it will take some time to flip them all.
Hey, that's why we're all here at the end of the day as well.
Exactly.
So we're unofficially NFT Butler sponsored by Atom Bomb Squad.
Hi guys, can I have a question, if I may?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know this was going on. I just sort of saw it and dropped in. So I don't. Is this something? Sorry.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
So
Yes.
we are making a recording of this whole demo. We will be releasing it, so you can catch up on the full tutorial. But yeah, if you got any questions, fire away.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to know if this is a collab with Alpha or do you just buy it on the OpenSea? I mean, I'm just wondering what the collaboration is. Basically, I'm just finding out what the opportunity for me is as a holder.
Of course. Let's explain. So that's the last point on our session here anyway. So we are doing a collab together. Everyone from Alpha Headquarter can redeem a voucher in our Get a Trial channel. You can type !redeem and then your voucher code, and you will get 1 week free trial access to NFT Butler. It includes all the Discord features and everything. Just like a lifetime member, you get 1 week free trial access. And you can, try all those features and everything yourself. Plus, you will also get a 20% discount. Our lifetime license is currently listed or officially listed for 1 ETH. And if you would like to buy a lifetime license, please create a ticket with us. Here in create a ticket, post us your collab, where you're coming from, and your wallet address, and we will do a private listing for your wallet for 0.8 ETH.
Would that be the same as buying it as on OpenSea? Because it's about the same price now, 0.81.
Oh yeah, true. It was 0.9 this morning, so I guess there is one license listed right now at this price. Let's check.
And is that 20% on that price, or is that assuming that 20% has already been incorporated?
No. we are officially listing our lifetime license at 1 ETH. So the premium price is really 0.8 ETH.
Gotcha.
And it's just one is listed at 0.81.
One more question, if I may. So you talked about looking at some of the metrics for deciding where to bid and maybe even the products to bid on, right? Is there somewhere where you have that? Because it's kind of hard to figure out. There's so many moving parts with different projects on the market, I suppose. So, sometimes you could say it's 20% lower, but the floor prices change and fluctuate so fast, and depending on the demand, right? Because that's effectively what's happening, that's driving. So do you have something like that? Because I'd be really interested if you did.
Yes. So what we have also bid in when bidding, you can not only bid in a fixed ETH price, you can also bid relative to the floor. So you can say, I want to bid 40% below the floor price up to a maximum of 30% below the floor price. So whenever you're bidding on a token, it will actually calculate what is the current floor price and bid in this range. We will also add a third option here when bidding, which is called profit. So instead of calculating, I want to do 40 or 30% below the floor price to end up with some profit, we will also incorporate very soon that you can say, I want to do 0.1 ETH profit compared to the current floor price, but at least 0.05 ETH profit. And then in combination with the looping task, you can say those bids should only be active for 4 hours and make the task loop to basically refresh your bids always relative to the current floor price.
Thank you. I had one more question. You mentioned something about the buyer buying assuming the gas and the seller, so thereby you pay nothing. Is that a feature of this, or?
Yes. So basically, when you bid on the entire collection, or when you do bids, and if someone is going to accept your bid, so when someone accepts the bid here, right, then he will basically pay for gas. So you will not pay anything. You will just get the NFT, and he paid for gas. And once you're selling it, the buyer is going to pay for gas. So best scenario, sometimes you need to pay a little gas if it's the first time listing an NFT on OpenSea, if it was never listed before. Other than that, you only pay a little gas when wrapping and unwrapping Ethereum. That's it.
That feature is on OpenSea. If someone accepts any bid, they pay for the gas on that.
Exactly.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that. Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions from the crowd here? I think you've pretty much hit everything on the head there.
Well, I might as well, right? No one's saying anything.
Yeah.
Is there a deadline on the offer?
No. I would say no. Like in a few months we maybe wouldn't remember, but if you join within the next weeks, I think that's okay.
Okay, great. Super, thank you.
Perfect.
Also, maybe just one last thing. So we have a collection, NFT Butler, on OpenSea. We have minted 1,000. We have currently sold about 120. We are not going to sell more than 300 this year. Some people are scared because there is 1,000, but we look at this like shares at our company, like smart money, and we use that money to build more features into the product. And we are also building the whole product community driven. So looping tasks, for example, was a feature which was put out for rating in our community, and everyone wanted to have looping tasks. So that's why we are prioritizing this feature now.
Very nice.
So we are selling those 300 licenses this year, and then most probably next year again another 100 or 200. So we are just slowly releasing them to basically fund our startup company, which was founded earlier this year in Switzerland, and work together with the community in the Web3 and NFT space.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah, right?
I've got a question. What is the app written in? What language?
In Node.js.
Okay.
And Electron for the UI, and yeah, bunch of other libraries.
Okay, cool.
I have one more question, please. Well, you're getting your what's it? Your bang for your buck. What is it? Yeah. So, question I had. You said that you'd have to. You looked at the graph and you said, well, this is a spike, and then it kind of tails off, which sort of displays a sort of lack of confidence over time, or people are selling off, or whatever. Right. But then you also warned about perhaps a floor sweep. So, how do you distinguish between the two events?
Let me find that. So you're talking about this graph here, right?
Yeah.
So first event was if you have huge spikes, but more like in sales volume, then most probably the floor price was pushed, but it's most likely going to drop in the next few days. That's just what we have seen. If whales are buying or swapping the floor, then you need to be careful. And once we build in the safety features to automatically unwrap your wrapped Ethereum to cancel your bits, NFT Butler is going to take care of it. But for now, yeah.
That's going to be a game changer. Is it rude if I ask you to look at one collection?
No, that's fine.
Nothing better than practical experience. What about bulls and apes? Because I'm curious to know. I want to make some offers, and I just want to know. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's that one.
We also host AMA sessions every week in our Discord, and usually we also go through some collections and look at them together, and share some thoughts about it.
Yeah, I'd love to join. Because on this one, I've been watching this, and I really feel they're playing around with the price. Because I looked, I've got a number of tools, and there was like the prices all change at the same time, and I think that's really weird. There are about 20, and they're all changing at the same time. And it's never falling below. So I just think it's weird. And I don't know, as much as we have bots to snipe, there must be bots on the other side as well. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, so this collection is very new. I cannot really make any prediction about this one, to be honest. 140 sales, then 200. Yeah, so here we are in a very risky territory, right? I mean, unless you know the project, the community very well and what they are doing, then you can go for bidding and also sniping. If not, I would take hands off these collections, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I do know the guy. I think it's a long term. I think it's going to be good. But my concern is if you look at the number of holders versus the distribution, for me is quite small, like it's slow. And if you have a bunch of people who start selling, that affects the value of my holding. So
yes,
I want to make sure I get it as slow as possible.
Yeah, that's also something we check in the collection scanner. We do not post any collections where the item holder ratio is below 4. So here it would be like 4.5. So we wouldn't post that.
Right. That's a concern.
Yeah, and that's really hard to say. So in the early days of a collection, the floor price can be very volatile anyway. you can do a lot of profit. But the point of NFT Butler is really you go for stable collections which have a stable floor price for months. You maybe a half a year, right? So maybe this one. So I'm bidding from Crypto Cannabis Club for months now, always between 0.1 and or maybe 0.08 and 0.13 ETH, depending a little bit on the floor price. And the floor price always stays somewhere between 0.15 and 0.2. And I know that. So I'm bidding in a very safe area. And even if I get one a little bit closer to the floor, because the floor right now is not that high, I know I can hold on to it. I have a little time to sell it. But the idea is really get those bids out and then flip it as quickly as possible and not, hold on for months to it. It's really a
it's every
trading
user's
game.
own decision, right? But it's what we recommend for people that just wanna start playing with NFT Butler. It's just our safety recommendations, but in the end, people shall use the tool for what it however they can use it best. No financial advice. That's my point.
You could sell you a fast car, but you choose the speed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I've got a question. You're putting bids on an entire collection, like 10,000. So how long does it take to do 10,000? Is it like to do a bid on a collection of 10,000?
So if you run it in one task, like this one here, it usually takes about 7 hours. But you can also split it up, right? So you can say I create one task from 1 to 2,500, then the second task from 2,501 to 5,000. You can split up the token range to multiple tasks and process it in a quarter of the time. So like 2 hours.
How are you avoiding getting rate limited from OpenSea?
Because you can only run 4 tasks at a time. So the maximum throughput is 6,000 bits per hour with 4 tasks running. And that's what the APIs allow.
Sorry? How did you figure that out?
Months of tweaking and testing. So that was really like 2 months
Trust me, because I'm on the same... I've been trying to figure this out for long.
Yes, and every API is different. So we are using different APIs, one to check if the token exists, one to retrieve the current buy orders, and one to actually place the offer. And each API is different. So each API has different rate limits. You need to work all those details out, and they don't tell you, right? So you have to reverse engineer everything.
We should create a self-help group for people that were wasting their time on OpenSea's API.
On OpenSea API, okay. I think I might have to join that group because I was going to bed crying.
Yeah. So we also used a lot of caching. In the beginning, we fetched buy orders for each individual asset, and it was rate limiting outbidding tasks way too quick. So we use caching functionalities to fetch, 30 tokens at a time and then cache it for a few minutes, stuff like that.
Okay, that's what I've had to do as well. Okay, cool.
We can have a tech session together. I'm curious
I would love to.
Because I'm curious about your gas limits, because when we incorporate automated listing, once a bid is accepted, we need to expose in the UI, the gas limits and everything. So I would like to learn from you guys your best tips and tricks, and we can share what we figured out about the OpenSea APIs.
Okay, so there's a few things about the listing and stuff that I already know, like that we can just have a session and have a chat.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Very much appreciated.
Quick question. Is there a setting to ignore what I'm just wondering if you put like a predetermined price, is there a setting to ignore assets that have bids that have outbid you? And then the other thing is, do I have the option to pre-sign so I don't have to approve every bidding every time it's run?
You don't have to sign anything because NFT Butler requires your private key. So it will sign all transactions automatically. It's really about automation, and this is a requirement. The private key is only stored encrypted on your client only. But yes, in order to process this many bits, we need the private key. And currently, when there is already an active bid higher than your maximum bid price, basically, currently we always put the minimum bid price as a bid, because the other bid might expire before yours, and you might still end up in being the highest bidder. And I have seen that a lot. But we will also incorporate a flag in the next release. I have already coded it, but just not released. That you can say, if you're not the highest bidder in this range, don't place any bid at all, just to save up some funds and do other bids elsewhere.
I think that's a really valid point, because a lot of the time I flag ignore if I've been outbid, but I never thought that someone's bid might have expired.
Yeah, a lot of high bids, they only put it for 2 hours. So if I go with 18-hour bids, I don't care too much what others are bidding. I just put what I feel comfortable as a profit margin. And at some point, I'm going to be the top bidder anyway on those tokens.
Smart, thank you.
All right. Any other questions out there?
So all this bidding, like your rules and your just like your standards and recommendations and stuff, is that all just purely based on experience? Is that so? I mean, we've been in the minting bot and like contract minting and stuff for a long time. Well, for quite a while now, and basically it's all been figured out, and like we know what works and what doesn't work. Is this the same for you guys?
It's the same for us, guys. We started our proof of concept in December, and only the team tested it, and it was a great test phase, right? If you earn money on the side by testing a product, that was really 100%. Awesome.
100%.
You're right.
Motivation is a little bit a different one, right?
Yeah. And we are still using it every day. We are posting all our successes in our success channel in Discord. So we really build a product for us, but also our community. So we have the same pain points as everyone, and we want to make it better for us and the community.
Okay.
And actually also, like July last year, we also started with, or we tried to code some proof of concept for sniping and minting bots. But I just gave up on gas wars, and I didn't have an alpha node, so my RPC server was too slow, so I didn't get most of my tokens I wanted to. So I gave up on it, and I thought, okay, let's do bulk bidding.
Okay. Yeah.
Luckily, you guys are the experts there, so now we have both.
So yeah, I just carried on through the trenches, figuring out how this gas stuff works, and yeah, and which block to send the trans. Okay, cool.
We'll definitely be chatting on the side for technical helping each other out for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, looking forward to that a lot, really.
Yeah,
yes, as well. Anything else from your guys' side?
Nothing from my side. Dave, any last words from your side?
No, maybe just repeating once more. You guys should somewhere have gotten a code that can be redeemed in our Discord. There is a channel, get a client, redeem the code there, and you can play around with NFT Butler for free. And hopefully we see you then in the success channel.
Well, I don't know if you've sent the code to Pi or...
It's already been announced on our side, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe announce again. They need to come in our Discord and redeem it and get a trial, because we have a lot of tickets opened where people are asking, how do I get access?
Okay, yeah, no, we'll make sure of that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. This was wonderful. You guys have an awesome product. Very in depth. I didn't think bidding could get so complicated.
Yeah, I've been telling these guys bidding isn't as straightforward as you initially think, and I just bid. Oh, let's put bids in, and I'm like, it's a little bit more complicated, and you've just shown me it's more complicated than I even thought.
So let's work together and make the best of each of our tools and grow as a conjoined community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we'll definitely work something out for sure.
When can we come and so do we have to send you our wallet address, and after your mint has ended, we can grab it for discount, right? Something like that was the deal.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think just chat to Pi about that. I don't think he can talk very much right now. There he is.
This one. You might hear a crying baby, but it's fine. So yes, so the way it works now is 5 p.m. CET, your guys' time as well. This Sunday, our public mint closes. The leftover supply will be sold to everyone on the whitelist.
The partnership list, yeah.
The partnership list for the next 24 hours.
All right, perfect.
After that, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you tell your guys just to open a ticket and obviously say where they're from, we will add them to that list.
Perfect, we'll do so.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been great and very educational. And yeah, we'll be definitely chatting on the side, yeah.
Awesome. Then good luck with finishing your mint and all the best. See you later.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Take care. See you around.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers, guys.